Hey everyone, welcome to the SNL AfterBuzz TV After Show. We are going to be talking about Season 43, Episode 5, Tiffany Haddish, Taylor Swift. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Stop dancing.
Get it, Steph? Get it?
I liked our intro better than Taylor's, but you dancing to this is very welcoming.
Come on, pump it.
Yes.
You shake up right now.
Yes. You guys didn't know I'm actually one of Taylor Swift's backup
I
dancers.
knew it. There was
so.
one person I
like
liked on
Taylor
stage.
Swift.
It was
I
you.
don't like to talk about
You
it.
had
It's
the
like
moves.
a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Flip the hair. Go on.
Get it. Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited to talk to you guys today about this episode. Iconic episode. Groundbreaking for a lot of reasons. Really cool episode to talk about. But first, of course, make sure that you are subscribed to us, you're following us, tweeting, hashtagging, send a smoke signal, let us know you're there. We'd love to hear from you. But first of all, our awesome panel tonight. Where can we find you, ladies?
Hey, so I'm Elysabeth Alfano. Thanks, everybody, for watching tonight. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Dinner Party CHGO, and all my celebrity interviews at thedinnerparty.tv.
What's up, everyone? I'm Steph Sabraw. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw. I'm really excited to talk about this episode. Just like Amy was saying, groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Can't talk because it's just too much.
So much excitement and also, Taylor Swift excitement. Just gonna toss that in there again. I'm Amy Maestri. You can find me at Amy Maestri. So let's just do this. Let's dive in. First of all, Tiffany Haddish, first female black comic to ever host SNL.
Yes.
43 seasons. They did it.
43 seasons too late, but it was still amazing to see, and you could see it in her face. She knew she made history, and it was just a really beautiful moment. And she's so funny, and she somehow made it funny and important.
Exactly. Well said. Well said.
I didn't think that she knocked it out of the park in terms of jokes, but I loved her presence. I loved that first of all, she's so authentic.
Yes.
So I loved how she worked in her personal story. Mm-hmm. So I knew that she had been in foster care, but you could see that, life has been a little tricky, and she laid it out there, and her joy was real, and she was very excited about that. And then I loved her physicality on stage.
Yeah.
I loved how she got up and she took up space. Sometimes women don't do that. Like Taylor Swift maybe didn't do that, right? She's all little and playing the guitar. Now, I'm not slamming on Taylor Swift. I don't hate her like the other girls, right? I'll leave it to
Wait
these
for it.
two
Later.
meanies. But she took up space, and I love that. I love to see a woman just be like out there and like hold the theater in her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the producer just told me not to use my hands like this, so sorry about that. But
Smack her.
and I loved that she went glam, and I loved so much about it. The jokes I thought were entertaining and good, and but
cool.
that was almost secondary.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get into the jokes in a minute for the monologue. So let's go ahead and start, though, with the cold open. So kind of taking it out of the realm of let's just have Trump bullet point the news this week. They did the fun opening with Moore and Sessions popping out of a little cupboard.
I loved this cold open. I thought it was the best cold open of the season.
Yes.
Yeah. It was funny. It was relevant. It was brought in the new characters. It shined a light on the disgustingness that's happening with the Senate election and Roy Moore and Sean Hannity. Going to give you a special shout out for being a special idiot.
Tick, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Alabama, it just doesn't look good for you. But okay.
Yeah. But it was so funny. Kate McKinnon, when she popped out, that was a laugh out loud moment where I was not expecting that. The way that she
unfolded
embodies
herself.
Sessions in that small, creepy possum character and calling the possum daddy, it was everything you would want a celebrity or
And her with
politician
Sessions saying like, you check off a lot of boxes for me.
Yes.
And she's just so wonderful.
You're
it's bad.
creepier than me.
Yeah, usually I'm the creepiest one in the room. So many good lines from her. I love that they're doing such a good job of making him such a weird character, like a weird entity of his own.
Right, yeah.
And Kate just brings it to life so well. But I think structurally it was a nice sketch too. I think it was fun to see something different from them for a cold open for once.
I was happy to take a break from Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
I just was
fair
like,
point.
yeah, I needed that.
Yeah, totally.
I think what you're trying to say is you needed the break from Trump.
Both, actually. That character. I needed to just like look at some other stuff. For a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, because they do a really good job of making him actually look like Trump. So yeah, it is hard to look at for that one.
Totally.
Get it. So yeah, let's jump into the monologue because I know we're all excited to talk about Tiffany Haddish a little bit more and gush about her.
Yeah, what she was saying, she owns the room. As soon as she walked in, you knew that like her presence is pure. It's funny. It's enthusiastic. She is probably the highest energy of the cast and any guest we've had on the show this season. Yeah. I mean, and it was really funny. I loved how she brought her life anecdotes into it and made it real. Mm-hmm. And I think some of the jokes went on a little long, but it was still a really good monologue. I was just so impressed with her as a person and a comedian and a woman that it didn't matter to me that much.
Yeah, that's how I felt. The jokes were almost secondary. Like I said before, I just loved how she owned it, and I loved how her personal authenticity came through. Mm-hmm. The joy as well as the hardships, as well as the sort of I'm personally excited. Yeah. You could just feel that this was a moment for her because she's not she's a huge name for sure, but she's not Larry David. And I think, by the way, her monologue was better than Larry David.
100%.
So she nailed that. So in that stage, I don't want to pick on her because she was much better than last week.
Hilarious. It's just I know what she's capable of, which I do think she must have had restrictions. Obviously, it's Saturday Night Live, and they do this in a week and all of that. And I think she wanted to. She knows that a lot of viewers don't necessarily know her background. So I think it was smart in terms of introducing herself to Hollywood, so to speak, for a lot of the people who don't know her.
Yeah, that's a good point because it's not. Yeah, she's not Larry David. She's not, like this huge name where everyone's going to know her. So I think it was such a great introduction to her. Mm-hmm. And then also to your point, too, about her energy. I think that's so much more important than the jokes in a monologue, which is weird to say. Yeah. But because the host, that's what they're bringing for the rest of the show. Right. The next hour and a half, you're watching them, what they're going to do, what they're going to bring, how into it they're going to be, if they're confident. They're not writing the jokes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, with her, of course, she's a stand-up, so she probably wrote this set. But, yeah, I think it's so much more important to see that energy, because if you see that they're kind of, like, unsure, and they're not taking up that space, and they're not coming out and owning it, it's a lot of times at that point I go, ooh, we might be in for a long night.
Totally.
So
totally.
She set the tone really well, I think.
Yeah, she was awesome, and the dress thing, how she brought it
great.
Yeah.
To bring that back.
She's the celebrity that you want to hang out with out offset anywhere. She's a normal, great human, it seems like. I was like, I wish I knew her so bad.
As soon as she came out, I was just like,
yes, she's just
for the rest of the show, she had me.
You just want to look at her.
Tiffany Haddish, if you're watching, we're obsessed with you.
I saw some tweets where
they're a little creepy.
Who knew she's so beautiful? I'm like, no, she's been this way.
Yeah. You're just like, how dare you?
Yeah.
All right, so cool. The first sketch of the night, GamerCon. So, typical premise of they're at a game convention, which I believe is the technical term for it. You're welcome, guys. And it's her character, Boo Boo Jeffries, is obviously the fish out of water. That's this weird character that's a choice for a death game.
Yeah, maybe taking the high road kind of character in a video game.
Exactly. So, what'd you think?
We were talking a little bit before the show. So I think what I'm going to say here applies to actually the whole show, more or less for every sketch. It was entertaining. I'm not going to say it was bad, but it wasn't funny. It didn't pull together tightly enough. I knew what they were going for. I knew what they were trying to spin on, video games. They're all really violent. What if we had this nonviolent character come in, who's all sort of mentally, spiritually high or whatever, taking the high road. It was entertaining, but it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chet.
I thought it was her best skit of the night. I loved her character. I thought that was really funny. I love when she dances, obviously. And I thought it started off really good for me, especially with Scorpio.
Scorpionex.
Scorpionex. He really did look exactly like how
that was wonderful.
Yeah, and I thought all of the characters that came in when he nexted them, that was funny, and I liked that a lot. I think it brought a different element into it. And then it got a little long for me, but I still thought it was a great skit.
Yeah. I think at first I was a little nervous that they were going to do too many of those characters and it was going to become that kind of sketch because they do those a lot where it's just like weird characters. And I'm like, it's hard for them to pull those off a lot of times, I think, successfully. But I really enjoyed the sketch overall, thinking that just structurally it was really well built. There is like really solid beats to it of kind of learning where it was going and then having the callback button at the end of Melissa when he's just like, so she just left. And she's like, well, yeah, she doesn't like group settings.
Yes. I love that. I did. Okay, yeah. I even like that more about her character was really realistic. I get nervous in group settings, and my weakness is that I don't like to fight. Yeah. You are a woman after my heart.
So perfect for this game. I think I agree. It wasn't the funniest. Like some of the jokes in there could have been better, but it was set up really well. And even though it went on a little too long, I like that they actually did end it. SNL never ends sketches.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
A nice callback
because there are a bunch that weren't ended in this. I was like, oh, I guess we're going to commercial.
Yeah, cool. We're done now. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so the next one was, it's funny, we were just talking about this last week with impressions.
Oh, yeah.
A good vehicle for impressions has always been the Lost audition tapes, and this one was for The Lion King. What were some of your favorite impressions in this one?
Oh, I liked the ones I recognized, right? So I thought Celine was funny. I thought Over was funny. I mean, I thought they were all funny. And I think here's another good example of, I thought it was really entertaining. I did think this was pretty funny. I thought it went on too long. There were just too many of them. So once we got the point, it became less and less funny because I knew what I was expecting some things,
Yeah, see, that's why I like these ones, because for me, I don't know that it necessarily went too long just because it's not a premise that's being drawn out for too long. It's just impression.
Impression.
Yeah, so if they started to not get good, then or like if you didn't recognize a lot of the people, sure, like this isn't going to be the most fun to watch, but that's why I like this vehicle for impressions, because there doesn't need to be a premise.
I agree, and they're so good at impressions. I loved this skit. My for sure favorite, I watched this on repeat, was Leslie Jones's Oprah. That was hilarious. Simba! That I kept rewatching was so funny, and I want her to play Oprah more because she has the voice, she has everything. It was so,
and she's physically
close.
I loved the Cardi B and Offset. I saw Cardi B actually give a shout out, screenshotted that. And was like, Offset, look at this. So that was funny because I think Chris Redd is gonna be a huge power player. Everything I've seen him in, he's so funny and he makes you smile, and I just love his impression so far.
Which actually, that's right. Kelly couldn't be here tonight, but she did want to let everyone know that Chris Redd was in Pop Star. Just a reminder.
Shout out Kelly.
Also, shout out to anyone playing the drinking game at home of every time we mention Chris Redd being in Pop Star. Drink up. Cheers.
Okay, I actually had to rewatch Pop Star this weekend because Kelly talks about it so much. I was like, oh God, I got to do it again.
A nice homage to Kelly there.
It was, yes, Kelly, it was really funny, even the second time round.
So next we had a...
well, what did you think? What favorite impressions did you have?
I mean, the Celine one, I loved. It reminded me, actually, I think one of the best Celine impressions I've still ever seen is Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
But Melissa Villaseñor is always going to...
That's so true.
She's always going to kill that.
Yeah.
I loved 80 coming out as James Corden.
Oh, me too. I love that one.
Because he's just so jolly.
I forgot. See, there were so many
of them,
yes.
Yeah. Her James Corden, which also I find it very interesting that right now we're talking about what a powerhouse the females are. They're doing half the male impressions right now too. Kate's doing Jeff Sessions,
it's
like 80's coming out doing Jeff Corden.
I love it.
Cecily did Lin-Manuel Miranda, like
she killed that.
Are you crying right now?
I agree with you. Huge shout out to 80. The more I see her, the more I just think like, girl, you go. You got
she's
this.
awesome.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
She's been one of my favorites, and I think she's this season and last season, I think she's really been kind of coming into her own.
Yeah, I feel that way, that she's just about to hit it big.
Yeah, totally agree. Shout out 80.
Yeah.
All right. The next one was a taped sketch about the Democrats,
DNC.
coming back with fire.
I wanted to like it. Here's a perfect example of how I thought it was entertaining. I wanted to like it. I knew what they were going for, and they were showing just how unenergized the DNC is and how why are they still unenergized? It's not like we haven't seen Trump coming for 2 years now. Do you remember when Trump was lined up with 12 other people for the primaries? I mean, how long do we have to see Trump coming before the DNC finally gets their act together? Okay, so you could have something super funny there. And I thought everyone did a good job. Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein. I mean, it was all good. Why wasn't it funnier? I don't know exactly. It just didn't have a punch that it needed.
Yeah, I don't think, they didn't always hit, like, the right things, but also I feel like the audience was super dead during this.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't get it.
There was a lot that's the thing, I think there was a lot, because I really liked this because I thought there were a lot of smaller nuggets in there that, like, Donna Brazile just coming out, like, they didn't seem to get the Donna Brazile stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really funny, that she's just gonna blow it up.
This thing up, yeah.
The hair and makeup on that, spot on.
Right, great. And Tim Kaine, soy Tim Kaine.
Yes.
And I don't think people got that either.
Yeah, it seems like there was a lot of stuff that was missed in it, so maybe they were almost getting too specific for audiences who may have not been paying attention to, the world.
Because it was there. Like, they had, like, it was all there.
I agree with you. There was parts I definitely laughed out loud at, and I was like, that was a funny anecdote. And then there was parts where I did just enjoy the skit, because I think there is a play on the DNC and kind of how outraged they are, and that idea of, like, the older white liberals who have this naivety about what's happening today in hopes that the system will work it out and all this stuff, and then also them trying to be modern by opening, replacing all the Confederate statues with lesbians.
Yes, right. That was great.
Funny.
Okay, that was wonderful. That was such a great joke.
That's where the specificity worked, because like so specific in that, and then when you were talking about them, like the elitists, kind of the line that I wrote down of not just the coastal elite, we need the mouth breathers from Wisconsin and the window lickers from Ohio.
That was
so
great.
Yeah.
Mouth breathers ever since Stranger Things 2, new favorite.
Wonderful.
New favorite Lant Licker type line.
Yes.
And of course, Kate as Hillary.
Oh my God. Not Hillary
funny.
with the mustache. I think this Hillary idea could still work.
I love that part. I love her as Hillary, always.
Yeah. Any excuse to bring her back in.
Is
do
great.
It.
Yeah.
Whether it's she's trapped in a sewer with Pennywise,
we'll take it.
Oh, I do love that one. Yeah.
I think with this too, again, the audience I think just missed a lot of it. Jason Sudeikis came back to do Biden.
Yeah.
No one reacted to that at all. Larry David came back to do Bernie Sanders. No one reacted to that at all. He made a joke about how awful he was when he made jokes about the concentration camps.
That was funny because
nobody got it.
It makes you personalize the characters. Larry David actually reflects on his comedy, sees what the comments were about it and what people are saying, and then got the chance to reprise his role.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I did enjoy that little callback.
And I did like Nancy Pelosi and Feinstein. The characters are spot on.
They did great. Yeah. They did absolutely great. Cecily was great.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I think very well done. We got the joke of it, the premise, but I think certain things could have been a little bit funnier. But I think where they got too specific in like actual politics of what's happening, it missed sometimes. Yeah. But the specificity of a joke like lesbian poets going up instead of that was great. So I think well written on that.
SNL is having this problem with being relevant and political, which I think a lot of people enjoyed, and that's what skyrocketed the views last season, but also needing to stick to the basics, those really just funny Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig type skits, and I do enjoy the relevance and kind of the teaching of what's happening right now, but it's also, I feel like people are drained from it. It's like every day we're all paying attention to it because we have to, and now it's funny sometimes, and sometimes you're like, I really just need a release.
Enough of this. I know what you mean. There are several times, and it's escaping me exactly right now, but there are several times throughout the hour and a half that I was like, oh, they're actually going to make a point here. Yeah. They're going to go slightly serious on me and make a point. And so maybe that's that people just can't take serious right now.
Yeah, and I think, to your point of just being so exposed to it right now, it's tough. But I remember I had a sketch teacher who talked about how, like, the paradigm, like with comedy, like in the 70s, it was just so fun and silly. And like when you watch sketches from Saturday Night Live the first few years, it's like just zany, crazy, fun stuff. And then it's gotten really dark lately. And, you know, he kind of talked about if it's going to kind of swing back or what's going to happen. But yeah, I think bringing back some of that kind of silliness while still making these really poignant, well-written, but funny statements. Where are those Kristen Wiig characters again? You know, like
Gilly. You know, those types.
Well, that's why I was sort of saying to her before the show, it made me kind of miss the boxer's girlfriend. You know, this show, I was kind of like, oh, I wish they'd bring her back. Come on. I want something really like I can sink my teeth in and just laugh and like go with it.
Shout out Heidi.
Yeah, shout out Heidi. Right.
But yeah, agreed. I think it would be nice to kind of be able to forget about like how shit a lot of things are right now. With a silly character sketch. So hopefully they bring some back.
Sorry, one more thing, and nobody got this. And the whole ad, the DNC ad, was paid for by Mark Cuban running for president.
Done.
Yeah. So, but nobody. That was like quick run to commercial.
That was quick, smart humor, which I like.
Exactly. Yeah. At the end, I was just like, got it.
Yeah. I get the point.
One of those moments. So next we had a taped segment. So one of the kind of like Good Neighbor style, like Kyle and Beck, with Leslie. I know that's your boy.
Yeah,
Kyle's your boy.
Mooney.
So what would you think of that stuff?
I loved it in the beginning. I loved their friendship, and I loved the Leslie and Kyle relationship. I just think it's so funny. I loved Colin Jost being brought into his skit. That was
fantastic.
Yeah. And then I think it got a little long, but I overall did really enjoy the skit. I did. I think it was like, they're really good actors, you know? They're pretty serious. And then it was funny. So I liked the skit. It was a good one.
So highlight for me is when Lorne Michaels comes in and starts punching. That's always good. In fact, I interviewed Nora Dunn a while back. She was on SNL 84 to 88, and she does a great Lorne Michaels impression. I should put it back on my site. So I always like to see Lorne Michaels come in kind of out of character, and then just to see them pound on Colin, that was just so funny. In fact, at the end, when they're running credits and everyone's hugging, Colin looked like he still had either all the makeup on, or actually he did have a black eye.
Really?
Did you see him? He was
because that was taped. So if he still has the makeup on, Colin, I love you, but you need a shower, bro.
Look at it as they run the credit. He's all black and blue, and his whole face is.
They might have done that jokingly. I didn't catch that, but they might have done that jokingly,
around
just like
his
as an
face.
extra.
Yeah, it was like maybe he got punched in the face or something in real time, and then they worked him in because I don't know. But look at it, he's all punched out. So
because he's not an update. So I'm gonna have to look at that. That's a good catch. I'm guessing, maybe they did like just as a joke, like makeup was like, hey, we're gonna make you look like you got punched in the face at the end.
Yeah, because he's all beat up. It went long for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are always good because they're just, again, like they're so well done for those kind of parodies. Like this looks exactly like so many shows that do that are actually serious.
Yeah.
Like in reality shows when they do that.
And they cut away. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, and especially back in the beginning, like showing the actual pictures of them from college.
Yes, I love that.
Right, yeah.
Because I forgot about that they have a relationship off screen.
Yeah, because like they did Good Neighbor for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's,
Right.
I mean, it really is like friggin' awesome that they got cast together at the same time after putting out all these videos and stuff and producing their own content for so long. But yeah, I think it did go a little too long. I think it was super well done. I kind of would like to see it get a little darker. Just because I feel like it stayed at the same level for a while, but then the punching at the end, I mean,
that was
and especially seeing it with the Kyle hair while he's getting punched, ridiculous.
Yeah. I love how they were in the masquerade mask and Leslie Jones, and they just switched characters and no one knew. That was funny. I like that.
Yeah, like anytime that they can parody that idea of like someone being like, oh yeah, it's a masquerade ball.
Yes.
They're wearing a mask. No one will know.
No one will know.
Also, we got to see Beck in a dress. So
Yes.
so great.
Yeah. So true.
Perfect. And I'm just gonna hand it over to you now because your girl T Swift was up next.
Oh man. Okay, you guys. I just don't like Taylor Swift. I never really have. I do respect her as a songwriter and an artist. I mean, she's clearly sold millions, but I don't know what was happening on stage in the I've never seen her dance like that. Am I wrong to say that? Has that happened before? It was very sexual.
It's very new. I feel like this is very new Taylor Swift. Like, her last album was, because, I mean, I feel like this is like a darker pop album.
Yeah.
Like, kind of more
but
towards
also
EDM, but like...
16-year-old-y. Like, the lyrics were very, like, if I was in high school and I just went through a breakup and maybe a little slutty phase, that would be my jam.
That's so specific. I love it.
But seriously, I don't like her right now as a person, really. For some of the things she's done and said. She's a snake. I did kind of think it was funny that her mic was a snake.
Yeah.
But I saw the funniest tweets being like, for all y'all who think we're here to watch Tiffany Haddish and not Taylor Swift, you're right. I was like, retweet.
You're like, I want to retweet it so many times.
You liked her, obviously. I can feel it.
I don't have any visceral reaction to her because she's a commercial package. I don't see her as a real. I'm sorry. I don't see her as a real artist. I see her as a marketing image that's been put out there and is marketed really well, and the whole package is for marketing purposes, and I don't even think of it as like let's go music. I just think let's go sales.
That's kind of why I do like her, but because she is a really talented singer-songwriter, who has found a way to market herself that like she literally like took over the world when 1989 came out.
Totally.
So I mean, like, she's smart. She's a shark. She's a shark. She's smart.
I won't give her. I mean, she is a snake. She's a snake shark, and it's very talented. I mean, she really gives off this innocent vibe. And I, for a while, was like, "Am I being really harsh?" And then I found out kind of some of the snaky things she's done, and I'm like, I think she's a mastermind, basically.
Yeah.
And everything she does. I mean, her lyrics are simple, but they're addictive.
Yeah, they're just really well thought out. I feel like it's so catchy, all of it. And I'm very glad she did an acoustic set for the second one too.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of bringing it back.
She sounded great. She did.
So I really thought when we were watching the first song, I thought, oh God, this is all I'm going to hear on the radio now for the next 10 days, next 5 weeks.
Anthem.
Yeah, because you could just see like it was geared for the masses and it was going to be marketed in a major way, and it was going to be what everyone's buying, and it was charting, and then I was like, oh, now I got to listen to this for the next 5 weeks. And it's not that I mind listening to it. It's that it's so programmed, it's so marketed for. And then
I was waiting to see if she was going to do a new song, just because those are two songs that she had released before the album actually came out too. Yeah. So I was kind of hoping she was going to do a new one, but I did like to hear the acoustic. I think Call It What You Want was the second one that she did, so it was nice getting to hear that.
I agree. I did like her in the second song more, because I thought the first song was I just felt really, I mean, you can look at my shirt, awkward about it. I was inspired by her. I felt the whole time my roommates and I were like, has she done this before? Like the booty shaking and stuff? I was like, the year off that she took dance classes.
Totally.
100%.
Totally. Yeah. I know. I saw her in concert on the Red Tour, and like she did a little bit of dancing, but it was just like, she's so tall and lanky, like it was just kind of, I mean, I do like a lot of her music, but yeah, this is like, it's hard for me to take her seriously when she's doing like those kind of dance moves and stuff. I'm like, T-Swift, go get your guitar. What are you doing? Go sit at your piano, lady.
I want to hear about your million boyfriend breakups.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I'll say it, I don't care if she's a snake to a Kardashian. You can eat that right up. Get out of here.
I agree. I mean, that's a very valid point.
Yeah. Anyone who takes on the Kardashians, I'm like, I don't care what else you've done in your life that's awful. I support you.
And that's a good point. I don't mind the Kardashians like that, but it's like, if someone's got to take them on, I guess she'd be the one to really shake.
She's got the power to do it. I mean, she's got the following to do it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's Taylor Swift's world, and we're living in it, basically. So
it's so well said.
Thank you.
Yes. Minions that we are.
Yes.
True.
We do. We follow you, Taylor, wherever you go. That was creepy. Let's move on to update.
Zoo stuff.
Yeah.
Zoo stuff.
The easiest parts
Yes.
to talk about.
So let's talk about the jokes, and then we'll get into the two characters. But did you guys have any like standout jokes that you really loved in this one, or?
I loved when Colin Jost was like, "It's a great weekend to stay in because it's 20 degrees and everyone you know is turned into a sex monster."
Yes, right. I loved that too. Yeah.
The term sex monster is always going to be very funny.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's all the specificity that people can take. So everybody knows that they don't quite remember who or what, and because there's now so many. So just
there will
generally,
continue to
people
be
are
so
sex
many.
monsters. That was like a joke people could. That's enough for me. Whereas the DNC, there was too much of actually you had to have read the articles. Now you don't have to read the articles. That joke was all about the headlines, and that was enough for people. It was super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I loved. Looks like a guy who just showed up in Westworld and asked, "Where's the middle school?"
Yes, I was dying at that. Yeah. I thought the whole time, and it's kind of always like this, why I love the Weekend Update, because they're both equally hilarious and different, that it always seems like a comedy battle off, but in like an equal way. Like no one really ever wins, but they bring different stuff to the table, and I felt like even more this time they were kind of talking on the same topics, but a different way to say the joke.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think one of my favorite jokes was the one at the top, and it didn't get a great reaction, but about Trump draft dodging, basically.
Oh,
When
yes.
it was like he
First
went to
time showing up in
Vietnam.
Vietnam,
And what was it? It was, to finally, to pay tribute to Veterans Day, Trump finally went to Vietnam.
Yeah, I love that. I think a lot of people might not actually know that.
I know. One more thing. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's why. Yeah, and sometimes the top joke will kind of like it's kind of
Right,
breaking the ice a little bit, jumping in. So sometimes it's not always going to be the biggest winner. But I thought that was really funny.
I
I
agree.
think some people may.
I liked zoo stuff. I like Melania
zoo
Trump
scenes.
dishing him for, I got better things to do, like go to the zoo.
Oh,
go to the
yeah.
zoo.
Yeah.
I just wish I could see that happen. I wish
know.
Ashley had just come out just to be like, "I'm sorry, Donald, I have to
I
go
must
to
go
the
to the
zoo."
zoo. Yes. Right.
Speaking of Cecily, though, Claire from HR.
Oh, you liked it. Okay.
I did.
Yes. Well, here, let's start with you then. What were you not a fan?
No, I did. I liked it. I thought it was super funny. I thought it could have been funnier. So it was sort of like what I was saying before. Super entertaining, kind of funny. I knew where they were going, and that in and of itself is such a funny nugget that basically everybody is a sex monger everywhere. And so if you are HR, your head is spinning at this point, such that you have become this like neurotic woman who like, I have to Purell, help me get clean, help me get clean.
Funny.
Yes. Why didn't I feel like it was funnier? It was all there. I don't know.
I gotcha.
I didn't feel like it was
real.
Yeah,
That's the thing. I know.
We're just all laughing,
It's
going,
all,
"Oh,
God,
yeah."
I know, right? Exactly. Well, because she even said, he's like, "Are you angry at me?" And she's like, "Kinda, yeah. In fact, I am."
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
because-
I think I am. It's
And
hard
you
to
won't-
explain.
Yes, because that's how I feel when I'm talking to guys about sexual harassment or rape and violence
thinking the
against
same.
women. It's hard because I think they think I'm attacking them, and it's like, maybe I kind of am.
And because there's so many now, you think like this is amazing. Because I was saying this to my boyfriend the other day. I was like, okay, you do the math. You look at the statistics of how many older
the
men
number one killer of women,
have
is
been with
men.
underage women. Statistically, there's somebody in our friend group. So then my boyfriend was like, well, we're not all, help me. And I was like, I know, but do the math.
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of am angry.
Well,
even
yeah.
though I know, it's like Claire. Me and Claire should have drinks. So
Yeah.
That's
not
what
Purell.
I loved. I loved the tone of it because it is. I just feel like it's what we're all, and it's so funny. I was out last night. Guy came up to a group of me and my friends, and we just asked him to walk away, like we didn't want to talk to him. And of course, he went to like, "Why are you even here then?" And I'm just like, "Go talk to Claire from HR."
Like, and women are the sensitive ones.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Is like, I was just Shauna. Shout out Shauna. She's an AfterBuzzer too, and she tweeted something like she was at a bar, and because she didn't give a random guy she didn't know a hug, he was like, basically, throwing out the B word because that's the classic Trump card, and will put, and it's just so crazy that, and it's guys need to stop being offended and taking responsibility and separating themselves, you know? If you're really not like that, then separate yourselves. But to that point, I loved at the end when Claire wrapped it up and was like, it's not going to go away because this is an everyday thing and it's an infrastructure thing in society.
That affects 50% of the population. Basically.
I think this was probably one of my favorite things from the night, actually, just because Cecily's portrayal of it was perfect.
Nailed
Her
it,
just total, like, just exhaustion, like you said, craziness of someone. And I think it's such a good time to bring in that character of course, who else? Someone from HR.
Yeah.
And I think it just so much of it embodied, like everything that people are just thinking right now. And when she just starts yelling, just leave her alone. That's right. And that prompted Jost to be like, are you mad at me? Yes, I think I am. It's hard to explain, but.
I love that. It was one of those woman moments where I was like, every woman knows what she's talking about.
I also love that she brings out the doll and she's like, should your penis be inside your pants or outside your pants? And he's like, well, obviously. And she's like, no, actually, a lot of people get that wrong. And I think we're all looking at ourselves going like, oh my God, this is some basic stuff with CK and the rest of them, all of them. I mean, you think like, oh my God, we have to teach you that lesson?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of Tina's rant on the Weekend Update Summer Edition. With
the peanut butter bread or what?
With the cake.
Yeah.
When she's just so over it and she's just diving into the cake and is like,
because what else have I got?
Like, cause it just shows that, like, just what are we doing?
Exhausting.
It's so exhausting, and I feel like it had a very similar ring to it in this.
Really? Yes.
Gonna grab it. Yes. Bring up Queen Tina. Talking about how like Black people are getting treated in this country and how, like with the conservative statues and everything, and her just going in and just being like, how are we here?
Yeah.
Right. And how are we supposed to process this? Like, how are we supposed to deal with this again? Like, it's not going away. And
exactly.
At some point you start to crack.
I can't get the video up, but I'll just play a little excerpt of sound for you.
Perfect.
Order a cake with the American flag on it, like this one.
Yes.
And just eat it, Colin.
Love it.
Wait, I'm sorry, how is that supposed to help?
Love is love, Colin.
Sorry, what?
And then next time when you see a bunch of white boys in polo shirts scream about taking our country back, and you want to scream, it's not our country, we stole it.
Yes. So true.
We stole it from the Native Americans, and when they have a peaceful protest,
yes.
at Standing Rock,
Tina.
We shoot at them with rubber bullets, but we let you chinless turds march through the streets with semi-automatic weapons.
Yes.
Go, girl.
Oh God, it
girl.
brought me back there. I don't
God.
think I'm ever gonna see anything that I will love as much as that. But this, I think, was in the same vein, and I thought
I
it
wish
was,
we could just eat cake, but
it was great.
we have to join the revolution.
So I'd like to see Claire come back because I'd like to see it get to that level. I'm pointing, if you guys can't see, to get to that Tina Fey cake eating level. I think it's there. I think so much. It's all there. It just, she can get it funnier. And then she'll nail it and she'll get to more people and it'll address what we're all
and
addressing.
she could do this with so much too. And the escalation in that was great too, actually. Just the kinds of questions she was asking, and then the Purell, and then the puppet, and then, so okay, and then really just need to call out the Tiffany callback right now with the dress just coming out. And literally just that's it.
Told you I'd be
Awesome.
here.
And then real quick, we'll talk about LeVar Ball. So this was Keenan doing basketball guy's dad.
I knew you would hate it, and I thought he really shined here. I thought he was good, and he just spot on, and I thought it was funny. And I'm sorry.
I thought he sounded the same that he always sounds. Because he always sounds like that.
At first, I didn't know if I wanted him. First off, I don't really think LeVar Ball and the family is important enough to be covering on Saturday Night Live, but I guess the rest of the nation thinks so. But I did think Keenan did if you watch LeVar Ball talk, he did a really great job in terms of his facial expressions, like his voice fluctuations. It was really similar. And there was really funny parts. And when I was watching, I was like, I do think this is funny. Again, should have been cut shorter.
Yeah, I whenever Keenan comes on, I do the same with the Purell, only with my eyes. But then I try to take a step back and say, okay, if it wasn't someone I hated with a weird passion, like, what about it? And the thing is, like you said, maybe it's not big enough. I don't think it was, and they knew it, because half of it was Che explaining who these people are and what they're doing. By the way, he has this shoe. By the way, he was explaining everything, and I'm like, if you don't trust your audience to know who you're talking about, don't do the joke, or make it more universal so that it's not about specifics that people might not get. So for me, I totally lost it because I hate Kenan and I don't know these people. But that's the thing, you can still get past that if people don't, you know, you're not going to know everything, but I think they needed to make the jokes more universal.
Yeah,
and you could tell because he was straight up explaining who they were.
I liked it because I liked at the end when he was like, you know, each shoe is $700. You can only buy them one at a time.
700,000.
Okay. And what I really appreciated is that he came after Cecily, and that I thought was good, because just as you were saying, you don't think he's important enough to be on SNL. We needed a break. There was a lot of stuff on this episode that was maybe not funny because we're really telling the truth, and I wanted just like a silliness. This was like not important. And it's shoes and it's basketball, and it was a reprieve for me.
Yeah, and they usually do good with that as far as like having something that's kind of like a poignant one, and then having someone come on that's like one of Cecily's like 10-page long character names, you know, like which actually I would love to see the girl you wish you never started talking to at a party come back at some point too, because again that's just like that funny like
Cecily the news segment part. That is because that is so true, and she's so good at the drunken slur.
It's because again it's something fun to just kind of take away from the craziness of the world and everything that they talk about right now. But yeah, I just think there was too much explaining in it for me to be that funny.
I want something. I was thinking about the holiday jingle, you know, when they had Fred Armisen and Kristen Wiig in the matching outfits.
Yeah.
I hope, because it's holiday season, that we can get something like that on the Weekend Update. Yes.
I would love that. I would love to see Melissa do something like that, because she's so talented. She has such a good voice. She can do so much. So I hope, some sort of
her
silly...
in a sweater would be fantastic, because we saw HBR in a sweater. That was great.
That's all we need. All right, cool. So let's talk about Tamika.
Amy, why don't you talk about Tamika? Because the whole time I was thinking, I wish I had a live stream of Amy's face in this part.
This was... They tried to do 10 different sketches in one, and they never stuck to any of them. So I was very confused by it.
Same.
They tried to do 3 different games. Her character was funny, but it wasn't strong enough to actually be a character sketch. I wasn't sure if it was going to be about there being bad producers, or her being a bad host, or her, because the first beat with 80, it was like she doesn't understand a women's march. Which I thought, I was like, oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Cool, she's not going to understand what these like really good things are, and she's gonna take it the wrong way. Awesome, that's a funny idea. And then they didn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I was just left very like, what?
Yeah, I was too. So I didn't know if the joke was going to be all about the producers, or if the joke was going to be all about 80s character and this discombobulation, or if the joke was actually on Leslie, that she's a horrible host, and that this is making fun of talk show hosts. So I didn't know where it was going to go, and it sort of started and stopped in each of those 3 directions. And I also think Leslie just ran into trouble. Either she was having trouble with reading the teleprompter, or so it started to get offbeat, and so the cadence wasn't there for the jokes to fall right, and then it just kept falling apart.
Yeah. I agree. I when it first started, I was like actually laughing. I thought it was really funny, like the woke host thing, and I thought everyone was in character really well. And then I was telling Amy, I was kind of like looking at it. I like Leslie, and I'm rooting for Leslie, and I was just like had this like half smile on my face, like hoping I could understand the joke, or the joke would hit later, and I didn't understand where Leslie's character was coming from. Like I really didn't know if Leslie wasn't reading it right, if she got nervous on her lines, or if that's what the character was and I just missed the punchline entirely. I didn't understand. I was just like really awkward about it.
Nice. Yeah, totally agree. I think, she definitely did stumble, which again, she's not comfortable when she's not being herself, which is my problem. I love her when she's herself. It gets to be too much for me sometimes when she does update all the time and is always doing the same kind of shtick in it. But I think, it's just, she wasn't comfortable in it. You could tell, like, there was a line flubbed here and there. She broke And then I just don't think it was it wasn't a well-written sketch.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
when she broke and then went directly back into that very monotone, I was
Right.
like, so is that her character?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think if they could have made her character more specific as far as, like, why does she have this show? Like, what is she really doing? Like, because it's obviously all done by her. I almost would have liked to find out that there actually were no producers.
Yeah.
Like, she's just talking to
Yeah.
herself, and that, like, throughout. And again, the game that I first thought it was going to be with 80, I actually really liked. Like, this woman who's trying to be, like, some sort of activist talk show host, but doesn't understand the point of any kind of protest or march.
doesn't care about
yeah.
activism.
Yeah, and like
right.
the like classic white woman who is an activist, white liberalism, you know, like who really wants to be woke.
Yeah.
And I thought they were gonna play off that, but
Yeah.
So I did like the 80 part regardless, but I thought they would have kept going with that.
And actually, too, another game that they started to play in it, my God, was the sponsors being brought to them by Breitbart
yeah.
and
Yes,
like the
oh, yes,
Russians.
that could have been done so
And
well.
again, I was just like, there are so many different things trying to happen in this sketch,
Yeah.
and none of them are getting developed. The character, the 10 premises they came up with in it. So it was a bummer because 80 and Tiffany were both great in it. I
Yeah,
think. And then
yeah.
Leslie was just kind of awkward, and I don't think the writing was good.
Yeah. I feel
So
like
that's-
It was a confused sketch.
Yeah.
I think everybody in it was confused. I think the writing was confused.
And I like the idea of it. If they could hit that idea, I love the talk show name. I
Yeah, me
like
too.
Leslie possibly being that host and seeing it done right. It just wasn't done right.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Leslie come back as Donna Brazil. I'd like to see that really
Yeah, let's
blow
just
out
do that. Let's have her
That
do
was
a talk show
incredible.
in there.
Just
instead.
blew that because, you know,
about-
she
yeah.
was a talk show
Yeah.
person. So,
I would have been fine with
Yeah.
seeing that instead
Yeah.
of Tamika.
Me
I do
too.
not want to see Tamika again.
yeah, agreed. And I don't know if we're going to talk about it there, but there was also the unicorns, the black unicorns in there somewhere.
That's
Was
actually
that the
the
next one? I
sketch-
thought it was the
or-
first. I thought it was before, but whatever.
No,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, did we? Oh, yeah, we did go over the black. Yeah, good call. We went over the black unicorn. So yeah, that set. Wow.
Yes.
Start with that.
This is what I mean with that, is that it's entertaining. It was fun to watch, and the unicorn,
Love
the
the
black
outfits,
unicorn. I love
yeah.
and I love the sort of them playing together, but it wasn't funny. But everything about it was fun to watch. So it was entertaining, but it wasn't funny to me.
Yeah. What'd you think, Steph?
I thought it was funny. I thought it kind of brought in that dark humor that you were mentioning earlier. I love the costumes, of course, again.
and the
They're
set.
killing it with that.
Yeah.
The set was incredible.
And how they keep fluttering their mouths.
Yeah.
That they were playing
she was
together.
really
the
good
two
at being a
unicorns.
unicorn. I loved Leslie and Tiffany together
Yes,
on
me
set.
too.
And I do know that is Tiffany Haddish's book that's out. It's called The Last Black Unicorn. So it was kind of a play off that, which I did. Like, I loved. I was like, yes, they're giving her a special shout out, letting her promote in a non-obvious way. But yeah, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I think it was really funny. I think it could have been a lot better if.
Why did you think it was funny?
Well, because here's the thing. I think this is something that needs to be a show, not tell. Because it's a really funny premise of, like, that idea of, like, you're going to have an awful life. And I liked the going back and forth between the couple and 80, because 80's really good at, like, that self-deprecation of humor and just
Yeah.
being like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So things are going to be real
yeah.
bad for me. I get it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think, though, if they had done this almost kind of like a Ghost of Christmas Future kind of sketch where they see pieces of their lives, because it's a funny idea, but unless you get crazy in the ideas, which they didn't, of like what happens to her, those are the two things. I think it either needed to go like batshit
Bigger,
insane
yeah.
for
Yeah.
what awful things are going to happen to her,
Yeah.
and or have like it be like a let me show you and actually see the things.
I agree with you. I was kind of thinking that they would almost bring in her future children. I was thinking
Yeah.
of, remember the Gal Gadot or the Gal Gadot episode
Yeah.
with Heidi? I thought
Yes.
characters like that as her children would
Yeah.
be brought in, and I thought that would be really funny. Or like exactly what you were saying. I was thinking like, are they gonna bubble it into a
Digital sketch.
pre-recorded
Yeah,
scene?
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing with it. I was like, it's really funny, but yeah, it either needs to go crazier or have, show, don't tell,
Yeah.
actually
Right.
have them see what little monsters she's produced
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like how awful her life is.
Yeah, and I also felt like here was another thing that they were trying to be funny, but it wasn't funny enough because it was too realistic. So I know a lot of people whose kids are in that spot.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people are like, yeah, my son's in rehab. We're really, I mean, it was too close to home without being funny enough. It's like, no, that's actually life. That's not so funny, actually.
Like she needed to run into like some weird problem.
Right, yeah. So about like a freakier, right.
Yeah. Not like something that like every like divorced woman at home with a bunch of baby daddies and like a kid in rehab is gonna be like, this is terrible.
Right, right. Why did I watch Saturday Night Live to feel so bad about myself?
I just wanted to get into a better mood.
Me?
Yeah, right. Totally.
So that's always my takeaway. Go crazier. Be weirder.
Yeah.
So,
especially with
explore
Tiffany
and
Haddish,
heighten.
like, she could have, and her jokes were in there a little bit. You could hear it when she was talking about what her children were going to be like and stuff like that. But she could have been a wild the last black unicorn, you know?
Totally.
Like really going ham on it.
Yeah.
So okay, we have the dolphin sketch.
Oh my goodness.
Teaching dolphins to talk. And then some other things. Hey.
Beyond.
So here are some faces. Let's
my whole face during that, I mean most of it, I was just like very uncomfortable about it. Parts of it started really funny, and I mean I like the whole mad scientist type thing, you know, where people take things a little too far, and they were so in their characters. The filming was exactly done how they do dolphin type or animal documentaries, you know. And actually my favorite part of it was Tiffany. I think her role, I wish she kind of closed it off way sooner before the whole jerking the dolphin off type thing. That was just so weird for me, and I know comedy's supposed to push limits, but that was just uncomfortable for me.
Okay, so I hated it. Clearly I'm not the market here because I'm an animal lover, I'm an animal activist, I'm vegan, the whole bit. So it's just so totally not funny.
Well, they weren't eating the dolphin.
I get it. All right.
Correction.
Totally, yeah. So what I did like was Tiffany. Okay, first of all, I loved Kate and Eddie, and I think that they were great, and the makeup on Kate was great, and how they played it. Okay, and the highlight, the only thing that saved this was Tiffany saying, "Hell no, hell no." Okay, so that was great.
That was hilarious.
I don't know, like if you people really think that jerking off dolphins is funny, I just get help.
We're looking at you, Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, you little possum.
Roy Moore.
Yeah, I think I respected that they went to this really weird, uncomfortable place. I didn't think it was the funniest thing. I thought it was really well done, but I respected that they were just like, I feel like that's like, what's the weirdest thing they could do?
I do respect in terms of female comedy that these comedians, you know, really defy the gender norms of what people think women and men in comedy can talk about. Yeah. And I do love that about this cast. Like the cast of women, and women comedians in general have always been like this, where they're willing to really bend it weird and just do the joke regardless. But I don't know. I think it did remind me kind of like the Drunken History when she was reading from her diary. Yeah. I love that part.
Yeah, I get like super well done. But yeah, just not the funniest joke. I didn't love when it just kept saying hand though. Just hand.
What did it say? J me off or Jamie O or something.
Jamie O. Yeah. Weirdly well done.
Yeah. So uncomfortable.
You're sick. I don't know what to say. You're sick.
Well, the last one of the night, shout out to one of our other co-hosts for SNL, Kim, who loves these because she's obsessed with cats. I've become obsessed with cats too.
Interesting.
Me and my it's, you know, after that last sketch, maybe I shouldn't say it that way. Let's have you guys take this one.
Noted.
Animal lover.
Yeah, so total animal lover, which means, and I'm a real animal lover, like the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. So I just feel like, keep live animals off of TV. You don't need it to be funny, so don't do it. You could have easily done it with stuffed animals, and I don't know. So what? This is where I'm going. I can't watch the sketch because I'm thinking, so you bring in the cats and now you're taking them back to the rescue? So like, or you actually, like, what? The poor cats. So what I did love here is, I didn't think it was that funny, but I love it when Kate is so in character
Yeah.
that in character she goes out of character, noticing when the sketch is falling, and she makes a joke about the
Yeah.
current situation of the sketch falling apart
she's a
in
genius.
character. So talented. So Kate, I love you. And you know, of course, the cats are cute and stuff, but really, you can't think of anything better. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I do. This is a recurring skit, right?
Yeah.
So
The Kate's
I
done
do-
this quite a few times.
Yeah,
now.
I like this skit a lot, and I like the characters. I did think it got weird, but I do like to think of the SNL cast as really good people offset. So I was thinking that when they do bring cats, I feel like it is a way of an adoption thing. You know, I always like. I
wouldn't be surprised. Cecily's a huge animal lover too. She has her dog. That's her
Yes, I
dog
said
in the
right,
opening
in the
credits.
opening.
Actually,
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
hopefully they do, because I
Yeah.
feel the same. Like it's hopefully they're being treated well and everything, which I
and
think
they were trying to escape. Too.
Yeah, they
Well, that's
were.
the thing is that like they're not having a great time.
Yeah,
on
they're
TV.
normally more chill, but they weren't thrilled
Yeah.
this time. But
Yeah.
I just love this character. Kate's
She's-
interpretation of it, and the
I
way that
agree.
the host
Yeah.
always has so much fun with it too.
Yeah.
Like it's always that's why I think I love this sketch so much. Kate and whoever the host is always look like they are just two best friends having the time of their life
agree.
doing these sketches.
And this saves the sketch, but they're so committed. And
Yeah.
as you know, like that's one of the main tenets of good comedy. So
Yeah.
they're so committed,
Yeah.
and probably because they've done it so much, Kate just nails it.
yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, I know this is like kind of, I always think about this with what kind of skits I would like the host to be in. And I do love reoccurring skits when they're done right. I would love, you know, Tiffany to be in like the View type sketch. You know, they haven't done that in a while, but the talk show type ones where it's like the one-on-one girl time with like Maya Angelou, or not Maya Angelou, Maya Rudolph. I always do that. Both equally important in my mind.
Right.
Because Bridesmaids and Maya Angelou poetry is so
Same.
similar. Yeah.
My top two women. But so I was hoping that it was kind of like that, where she could be a little more of her, because I feel like where Tiffany shines is just being herself.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I thought that, but it was still I love to see her in the old lady outfit.
She's
makeup.
she still had some fun with that, and I always love a lot of the lines too. It's really specific. The Snowball's a doctor in his own country.
Oh, yes.
Boingo's addicted to PCP.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was funny.
He shaved everything off for a gay circuit party. So the lines that they always
Just
have in
keep
there
coming.
too are just
That was
weird,
good.
and I love it.
It was good.
But
yeah, like I said, I'm not the market because I'm such an animal lover, but it was good.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, overall, then, do you guys have an MVP for the episode?
I would say Tiffany, obviously. I just loved her energy, and I feel like it's giving them good momentum for next week.
Yeah.
And I think the most laugh out loud moment for me was, I did like the cold open at Jeff Sessions.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm straight
MVP?
down the line with you. I thought Tiffany was great, and I love that she's breaking a record there. So
Yeah.
good girl, way to go, rock that. And I love to see that, and I loved how she carried it.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely.
both nailed right there. And then of course I'll never get over Kate as Jeff Sessions, and the way
Awesome.
she like unfolds her body.
Yeah.
That's just
too
so
good.
with Daddy. Okay, so
Too good.
Kate.
All right, I'm going Tiffany all day on this one.
good.
Well done, lady.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
female black
rock star
comic,
you.
43
Yeah,
years,
love you.
and she crushed it.
Yeah,
So,
she really did.
And she thanked her foster care person at the end.
Oh God, the good nights. Oh man,
Great ending.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great good
love it.
night. And
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Good,
agree. I
good.
was like,
Way to
very
rock it,
touched.
girl. Yeah.
Well, we will be back next week. Chance the Rapper is going to be hosting with Eminem musical guest. Where can we find you on the World Wide Web?
Hit it.
I'm Steph Sabraw. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw.
Elysabeth Alfano, Dinner Party CHGO, Instagram and Twitter. Chance the Rapper from Chicago. Can't wait for next week.
I'm Amy Maestri. You can find me at Amy Maestri. We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Oh, woo!
Woo! Not boo.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV.